But the story that I was told was there's this lady, she's doing her own thing. She has kids and everything. This is like 1800s. She was kind of disfigured in a way on her own before anything had happened, right? There's a bridge, right? It's called Duncan Lady Bridge for a reason because she was on the bridge and people would like throw stones at her, call her names or whatever. And there's a little boy, right? There's a little boy that ended up messing with one of her like donkeys because she had a donkey, right? She had a donkey and she was riding it and she's bringing it to town kind of thing. And the little boy was messing with it. Well, the donkey ended up hitting the kid, right? So the people ended up like throwing rocks at her, yelling at her, and she ended up getting hurt. She ran to her house, right? She ran to her house to flee for safety. The parent got upset, so they ended up setting her house on fire. And she comes out burned all over. Her hands end up being melted together, so that's why they see like hooves in a way. Her feet are messed up, and they are also burnt. And now she's disfigured. And when she became disfigured, they ended up killing her, like throwing her off the bridge, right? High school was the first time before I went to college with my friends, right? We went or whatever. We're like, okay, I was scared a little bit, but I was like, oh, whatever. You can hear cars in the background, so you're still in the city in a way. But the further we went in, like they have this like woodsy like arch. And once you go through there, everything's just pitch black. You can't hear the cars anymore. You can't look out to the side. It just kept getting darker. And for some reason, I just got heavy, like on my shoulders as we kept walking in. But the difference from like leaves rolling from them being stepped on. And as we kept walking, you can hear them being cracked and stepped on and just like, then there's no wind and you can still hear while you walk, it's cracking on your sides. So we're like, let's go back. Let's go back. But then when we look back, it looked completely different where we were like, did we come from this way? It's only one way, but like, if it looks different to you, I wouldn't go back. That's how like stuff like really messes up. We hear like a scream. And I don't know if y'all have ever heard a donkey scream, but it sounds like a person. But I ran, right? I ran. We were close by. And we get to the car and like 10 minutes pass and he's still not back. Right. So we're like, yeah, do we really have to go back in there? And that was the freaky part because when I walked up on that bridge, like I was standing there going back for him. And then I was like, isn't there water here? And I like look down and you can see the water flowing, but it's not making any sound. So now I'm freaking out because I don't feel like I'm in the same realm. And then you see a figure with yellow eyes coming forward to us, right? And I scoot back, right? I'm like frozen. So I wait a little bit and we get in the car. Right? I was like, hey, where were you? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say anything. I don't know if he's mad or upset at us because we ran off without him. Again, this guy's like faster than me when we play tennis and he's like more athletic. And it was just like, why didn't you run? Like I was trying to make excuses. Like all in all, it's not okay because after that day, he just wasn't the same. And then after that year, like we were in the same grade. He like disappears. Like I don't know if he moved schools or what happened, but he ends up moving, right? We end up going again. But I tell him what happened, like the same story I tell y'all. I think there's 5 of us that went. And you can hear like rustling, right? We thought someone was messing with us, right? I think John, right? He's a spirited person, right? He's like trying to go looking. I was like, don't go in there. Like, don't step off the path. Like, that's something we didn't do. And maybe my friend did. That could be the break that is needed. Mm. So we're going through everything. And again, you hear a scream. And John does this little like freak out kind of face. And I'm just like, no. Right? I was like, no one run, right? When we get back to that bridge, right? Again, one of them says, I can't hear anything. I can't hear the water. I was like, I know. That's part of whatever we're in. This is it. And then we look back when I saw that my friend were at those yellow eyes. They weren't up there, but now they're like lower. Again, those yellow eyes show again. You can ask John, you can ask Talamantes. Everyone saw it.
Everyone saw it, yeah.
Yeah, everyone saw it. But those eyes were so like perfectly there. Like it was no glare. There was nothing. Again, it's like a bridge of like,
yeah.
They all run. John and Talamantes are like the slowest. I don't know, but like John's very athletic. Again, John is very athletic. Talamantes, he doesn't run as fast, but Talamantes beat him. Like John was the last one. He's like the most athletic of our group. Why was he the slowest?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
No one asked that. And I said, like, John, what happened? And he's like, I couldn't run. I just couldn't run. And Talamantes was like trying, but I think Talamantes stayed because he ran up, but ran back because I ran back for John because I don't want to leave anybody again. There's something there, not only that wants to be attached to you, but actually like take like your happiness or
like your energy.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I got to go with, she actually, her whole family can actually see like spirits and ghosts and that kind of stuff.
Oh no.
Steele and I, we saw this little figure, and it was like it had no form. It was just ovally, circular, squiggle, like whatever. It's just moving very fast, and then all of a sudden, it like shot to the side. And I was telling my friend, she didn't see it, but I described it to her, and she was like, while I was describing it, before I finished, she had finished drawing it out, and she showed me the image. She was like, "Is this what you saw?" And I was like, "What the heck?" Like exactly what I had described.
You know, me and Jose looked at the Google Maps, and as we're seeing right now, there is a burned section, so it makes you wonder. Like, I mean, at least it looks burned. I don't know for a fact.
And I had like a dream of it.
Oh yeah.
After, and I was like, whoa, it was a little too real.
What was that dream, dude? That sounds intense.
Yeah. So what my dream was we ended up going again, right? Didn't want to, but one of us left our phones. Maybe it was John or somebody like, are you going to pay for my phone? Like, you going to pay for it? Right. So we're like, no. So we're obviously going to go back, get there. And it's like quiet again. Right. It's not like when you first roll up where you can hear everything. There's lights. Like you can't even see the bridge. Like when you get there, there's a small parking lot. Maybe like 8 cars can fit in there. And you just hear like cackling just out in the woods, right? So we go in, but it's no longer like a trail, right? It's no longer a park. It's just like a straight, narrow path, right? You can't see all the way down, but it's just woods left to right. And as you get further in, there's just more screaming of donkeys. And as I like look to my right, my friends are slowly like disappearing, like they're not there. I think Talamantes was the last one that was with me. And he's like, I can't do this. You gotta go. And he like just fades into like the woods. And so when I get there, it looks like it's not a house. It looks more like a small asylum, right? There's bars on the window. And I just look to the left and there's a woman sitting there in a wheelchair. I hear buzzing, like blanket on her lap. It's a phone. In my head, I was like, that's my friend's phone. I'm just like, hey, that's my friend's phone. Do you mind if I can have that back? She doesn't reply, doesn't say anything, right? So I like reach out for it, right? And as I reach for it, she grabs me by the like wrist, right? My wrists start burning, right? Now my hands are like melting to hooves, right?
What the?
Yeah, and then I woke up because my dream was so real. Like I felt like I was actually burning. Like my hands felt like that ice cold.
So like I was wondering if you ever experienced any distortion on the path at all, or like fuzziness, blurriness, like weird kind of the way the leaves look, anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I would say for sure.
Because you said it was kind of like a tunnel, right?
Yeah.
That's what me and Jose noticed right away.
Yeah.
One thing we really noticed is the leaves almost are like a double vision kind of thing where it's like ghost. Yeah. Exactly.
I was gonna say it's like it tunnels and then it also like if you look to the side, it just gets dark and it's just like I saw this like a couple seconds ago. Yeah. Why is it gone now?
Dark patches. And why don't more people know about this? Like it makes me wonder, like, ghost hunters, like they went to like the Yorktown like hospital, I think the haunted hospital. So I'm like, why do more people not know about the Donklater Bridge? I mean, it's so haunted. Like every time you go, something crazy happens. So I'm like,
I would say it's because it doesn't have